Hello again, welcome back. Welcome to another Verbling class. My name is Hamish, and in this hour we are going to take a very good look at the Ielts exam, more particularly the speaking section of the Ielts exam. Even more particularly than that, we're going to focus in on questions about food, and questions about food can come about in any part of the speaking section, but particularly in part one, it's quite common for the examiner to ask you questions about, well, favorite food, where do you like to go out to eat, what are some of the more famous or some of the more popular foods in your home country, and really to ask you about your preferences, your likes and your dislikes, things like that. So it's a good thing for us to practice and prepare answering questions like this before the IELTS exam. It's also just generally good English speaking practice as well, because food, my goodness, is one of the most popular topics in the English language. Just a reminder that these first 2 minutes are for Verbling Premium users. So if you have a Verbling Premium membership, you can click on that Join Class button in those first 2 minutes. If you don't have a Verbling Premium membership, you have to wait 2 minutes to join the class. So if there are classes on Verbling that you're particularly interested in and you want to make sure you get a chance to sit at that table, I'd recommend that you at least consider upgrading that membership to Premium to take advantage of these first 2 minutes and make sure you get into class every time. So, but let me say hello in these first 2 minutes. Let me first of all say hello to Osama. Hello, Osama. How are you?
Hello, I am fine, thank you.
And Osama, tell me, where are you from?
I am from Egypt.
All right. Welcome to Verbling. Welcome to my IELTS speaking class. Osama, tell me, are you planning on taking the IELTS exam, or are you here just to practice your English with us?
I want to be perfect in English.
Okay. Okay. Well, I hope I can help you out with that. I hope I can give you some good practice today. Welcome to the class. Let me say hello also to, oh, my screen's jumping around there. There we go. Let me say hello to, was it Nihan? Hello, Nihan.
Thank you. Yes, Nihan, I'm from Turkey. I'm here because I want to improve my speaking skills.
Okay, well, you came to the right place. Tell me, Nihan, how's the weather with you today?
Perfect.
Wow, wow, perfect is good. It's perfect here in Tennessee as well, so I'm glad we can share some of that good weather today. It was terrible yesterday,
yes.
Wonderful today. Well,
eventually the
class.
summer is begin. Eventually the summer is begin, and we are very happy.
I know. I think it's like half the world has suddenly discovered that spring is really going to happen. So I know that of course a lot of countries have had a pretty bad winter. So it's about time that we get some warmer weather and blue skies.
We need the summer.
We really do. We really do. I'm so glad you could join us in class today, Nian. Let me say hello to everybody else, and we will get started. Next, let me say hello to Azael. Hello, Azael.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Because it's Friday afternoon and it's my last class of the week, I'm very excited. Tell me, where are you from?
I'm from Mexico City.
Ah, very nice. Welcome to Verbling. Welcome to this class. Azael, tell me, are you do you want to take the IELTS exam, or are you just here to practice English today?
So actually, I'm studying to be an English teacher. So I would like to improve my knowledge and spread my knowledge.
Okay. Well, I hope you get some good practice with us today. That's certainly our plan to practice speaking and of course listening English as well. So good to see you in class today. Let me say hello to. Let me try. Is that sorry if I get this wrong. Is that Chocho or Choco? Tell me. How do I say your name? Choco, is it Huria? Oh, I can't hear you yet. If you are speaking, we can't hear you. So if you unmute that microphone, where there's a button on the top right of your screen, and then we can hear you. I'll come back to you later and see if we can see if we can hear you talking. Let me say hello in the meantime to Ismail. Hello, Ismail.
Hello, Mr. Hamish. How are you?
I'm very well. I've missed those yellow flowers, so it's really nice to see you again in class.
Thank you.
And is it blue skies with you today, Ismail? How's the weather?
Yes, it was sunny weather in Ankara today.
Very nice. I'm very glad. Yeah.
The temperature was 15 degrees Celsius, but yesterday was cold.
Yeah, 15 is reasonable, isn't it? It's like you can do things in 15 Celsius, but below that it gets a little chilly. I'm so glad you're here, Ismail. Thanks for joining us. I hope we get some good practice with you today. Let me say hello to is it Mehmet?
It's Mehmet.
Mehmet, hi. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Where are you from, Mehmet?
I'm from Turkey.
Welcome to Verbling. And do you want to take? Are you planning to take an Ielts exam or a TOEFL exam, or are you just improving your English?
I'm here to improve my English.
Okay. Well, you are in the right place. I hope we get some good conversation today. Thanks for joining us, Mehmet. Let me say hello also to Slim. Hello, Slim. Welcome back to class.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. How are you doing today?
Not so bad.
Not so bad. I like that. That's a very British answer. Not so bad. I appreciate using some good British English with me today. Slim, good to see you in class. Let me say hello to Thomas. Hello, Thomas.
Hello, Mr. Teacher.
How are you today?
Fine, thanks, and you?
I'm pretty good. It's good to see you back in class, Thomas. Let me say hello last. Oh, two left. I'm sorry. Victor. Hello, Victor.
Hi, teacher. How do you do?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's Friday.
That's good. It is Friday, after all. Your tiger, is he yawning or is he hungry? I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
This is starving.
Oh, is he? Oh my goodness. Well, that is perfect. That is perfect for this class. I wish we'd all thought of that. I wish we'd all come with food-related icons. But yeah, I think you're right. He looks pretty hungry to me. Victor, tell me before we go on, where are you from?
I'm connected from Mexico.
Mm-hmm. And so you're in Mexico at the moment?
Yeah, I was Caliente City.
All right. And are you from Mexico or are you from somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm Mexican.
Okay, great stuff. Well, welcome to Verbling. Really glad to have you in class today. And let me say hello to Eunice. Hello, Eunice.
Hi.
How are you?
I am very good. How about you?
I'm fabulous, thank you. Eunice, tell me, where are you from?
I am from Turkey.
Turkey. Okay, Eunice, thank you for joining us in class. Are you here to just improve your English in general, or are you preparing for an exam? What are you doing?
I will go to Poland.
Mm-hmm.
Next year.
Okay.
I may good IELTS exam.
All right. Okay.
IELTS exam.
Very good, and we do well, and certainly I do IELTS preparation classes and TOEFL preparation classes and things like that. So it's great to see you here on Verbling, and hey, let's get moving so we can do as much practice as possible. Sorry, I was looking at the chat there. Got very distracted. Now we're going to do some IELTS speaking practice. Most of these questions are related to part 1 of the speaking exam. I won't bother telling you too much about the IELTS exam because really I just want to ask you some questions about food, so we don't need to know too much about the structure of the thing. If you do want to know more about the IELTS exam, let me just give you a link so that you've got that. This is and I'm putting this in the Verbling chat right now. That's the official IELTS website. IELTS is an exam that is run and managed and devised by the British Council. So if you go to that website, you know the information there. You know you'll be able to trust that as solid, honest, and reliable information. So I would always recommend that website to anyone who's wondering, why should I take it? How much does it cost? How do I apply? And also, how do I prepare for the exam. And they have some really good advice on that website from the British Council, but also they have some video from students who have successfully taken the exam, and it can give you some very realistic advice about the best ways to prepare and the best ways to be when you're actually in the middle of that exam. So I'd recommend that website if you have any questions about IELTS. Let me see if I have anything else helpful for you here. I just want to put this one link in terms of if we have any problems with the Hangout today, any problems with hearing or speaking or seeing or any of those things, let me put the Google link that I give in most classes. So if there's any problems, if you get kicked out and you're not sure why, check out that web link, and that might help you come back into class. But we have a full class right now, of course, so let me get started. Before we look at the example questions, I think it would help to think about the language that we use with food. First of all, and this is a question for all of you here. What words, what adjectives can we use to describe food? Because we can use good and we can use bad, but we're going to do better than that in the IELTS exam. I mean, good and bad are fine, but there are other more interesting and better descriptive words we can use when we talk about food. So if food is good, what words can we use to describe it?
Tasteful. Tasteful.
I heard delicious, so I'm going to put that one down.
Delicious.
I like delicious. Delicious makes me hungry hearing that word.
Terrific.
Perfect. Extraordinary.
Okay. Oh, I like these. Okay, and now I heard a tasteful. I would go with tasty. Tasty. Tasteful. Tasteful is more of a. It's like modest, as in, you know, I'm wearing a shirt here. I'm being modest. It wouldn't be tasteful for me to suddenly tear my shirt off. So tasteful and modesty are very closely connected. Tasty is absolutely about the tongue and the taste buds. So tasty. Oops, sorry. Oh, I like crisp.
Yummy.
I love yummy. Fantastic. I knew you'd come up with some good words for me. I appreciate it.
Salty.
Now, and salty, is that good or bad when something is salty?
Bad.
I think it is bad for me.
It depends, doesn't it? I mean, of course, we could say, oh, that's too salty, or we could say,
Spicy.
oh no, this needs some more salt. So it again depends on those taste buds. Okay, so salty,
Spicy.
spicy, very nice. I'm going to put an E in there for spicy. Exactly. I mean, Victor, you make a good point in the chat there. Hmm?
Saucy.
Saucy. Oh, interesting. Well, saucy has a little bit of a different meaning with British English. So I wouldn't use it for food. You could say it has a lot of sauce, of course.
Yeah.
A lot of sauce.
Healthy.
Healthy. Yeah, and that's a very positive one.
Could it be raw?
Oh, raw. Yeah. Raw. Oops. Sorry.
Fatty. What about fatty?
Fatty, okay.
Fatty.
And fatty, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a bad thing, of course.
Probably it's a bad thing. Of course, sometimes fatty food can taste pretty great, but it's not a healthy food. No, definitely not. You guys.
Homemade. Homemade food.
Homemade. Okay. What is? Give me an example of homemade food.
Oh, a lot of.
Vegetables, soap.
It's of course one of the easiest things we can make is soup. So very common for people to make soup, and that can of course be very very cheap as well to make soup instead of buying. And of course it could be much healthier as well to make your own soup, so you know what's going in there. I like it.
Food.
Fast food. Give me an example of fast food.
Hamburger.
McDonald's.
Indeed, both at the same time. I like that. Absolutely right. There's McDonald's. What other? And hamburgers. What? Okay, so hamburgers.
Chickens.
Pizza.
Sandwich.
Kentucky.
Yeah, and I would include sandwiches as fast food if you're going out to there are a lot of sandwich restaurants. I know in the United States, there's Subway, of course.
Fried chickens.
Fried chicken. Yeah. What restaurant sells fried chicken? There's a
Kentucky.
KFC.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah, and of course they for some reason they don't like to use the word Kentucky or fried or chicken. I think they don't like to use the word fried these days, so they just call it KFC. Oh, Slim, you got there. I'm not going to write over you there. You got it before me. So KFC. We could go on all day, couldn't we, with all these places? You've given me some great stuff. Let me see.
Kosher food.
Good point. Of course. Let's not forget about that. Let me put in kosher. Very nice. Okay, so we have lots of adjectives, and a lot of these describe how good the food is, and of course some of these describe how bad the food is. And there's also some different types of foods there in the chat box. So when I ask you about food, when I ask you about your favorite foods and what you like, what you don't like, I definitely want to hear some good adjectives today. Okay, so good and bad. No, that's not enough for me today. I want to hear some of these delicious, these tasty, these fatty, these fast food words, because they describe that they're much better at describing food. Good and bad, that doesn't really help us. But I like delicious. I like all those words that we have in our box there. So let me see. I have to find my questions, of course, for you. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Now I want to run very similar questions for each of you. So we're going to hear the same kinds of questions each time. Of course, I expect you're going to give me different answers. I would expect each of you will have a unique opinion about food, depending on your personality, depending on your culture and your home country. I know I would give different answers to many people here. So it's going to be very interesting to hear those answers. So yes, we're going to practice our speaking today, but I'd love for us to practice our listening as well, just to hear all these different examples, and maybe we'll hear some really good language that we can think, oh yes, I can use that to describe my food and answers as well. So let's pay attention today. I am going to go in the order, I hope, I'll try anyway, in the order of people coming into the class. So let me start with, let me go. I'm going to go in the order of the windows, actually, I think. Let me see. Let me ask Osama, first of all. Let me come back to you, Osama. Are you happy to practice with us today?
What do you say?
Are you happy to practice? Are you happy for me to ask you some food questions, Osama?
Yes, you can ask.
All right, then that's what I'm glad to hear it. Let me see. Yes. So again, in this Ielts exam, they will ask all sorts of questions, but they might ask you about food. And so here's some questions they ask about food. Osama, first of all, what kind of food do you like?
I like food is not meat, it is vegetables.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of vegetables do you like?
Tomato.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of vegetables, but I forget names.
Okay. Well, I think we'll get some help from other people, and let's see what vegetables we can come on with. But I want to stay with you, Osama, and ask you another question. Osama, do you like to cook?
No.
Why not?
I am busy in my work.
Okay.
And I have no time to cook.
All right. So tell me, who does the cooking in your family?
My wife.
Ah, very good. And is she a good cook?
Yes.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. And that was the right answer, by the way. always the right answer. You never know. You never know who's listening. Osama, thank you for those answers. Now, I want to come back to everybody here. Let's remind me. Tell me. Give me some vegetables, everybody.
Cucumber.
Ah, very nice.
People.
I'm sorry. Tell me.
Spinach.
Spinach, right?
Cucumber, spinach, carrot, potatoes.
Potatoes.
What else?
Cauliflower.
Oh, I can't spell cauliflower. Goodness me. Let's see.
Peas. Peas.
Peas, got it. Yeah. Oh, an onion. Very nice. Yeah.
Garlic.
I think it is a vegetable, isn't it? Is garlic a vegetable? I think so. I think, of course, tomatoes. I mean, they say that's a fruit, don't they? But I'm not going to make a judgment on that.
Pepper.
Carrots.
Pepper.
Pepper.
Green pepper.
Ah,
red
okay.
pepper.
Oh, I get you. And we call those peppers. I think we also call them. Is it capsicum, something like that? But I'm not going to write that down. I'm not sure that's right. But okay, red peppers, green peppers. Okay, let's put that down.
Carrots.
Again, please.
Carrots.
Carrots. I think we have carrots on our list. Yeah, very nice. Okay. Anything else?
Vegetables.
So.
The most onion we said.
Mushrooms.
Oh, there you go. And one of my favorites. I don't know how I forgot that. Oh, and a leek. Absolutely. I love some good examples in the chat. I appreciate that. Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Paprika.
Oh, it's all coming up now. This is very good. Again, if we look in that verbally chat box, some really nice examples. So, hey, I think the next person who gets that question, if I ask them about vegetables, they're going to have some very nice examples to give me. I'm sorry?
Good.
Once more.
Mushrooms is vegetable.
All right, okay. And we have mushrooms in our list, don't we? All right, let me ask some similar questions about food. Let me go to my next person in my list, and let me find him first of all. Yes, Nihan, hello, welcome back.
Hello.
Hello. Are you happy to answer some food questions with us?
Yes, I'm thinking of my culture's famous foods.
Of course, and I think I'll have to ask you a question like that. First of all, Nihan, what are your favorite foods?
My favorite food is kebab.
Okay.
And some homemade foods, which in the western parts, which I live, olive trees are grown, and we made the vegetables with olive, and it's very healthy to use olive in your foods.
Tell me about kebabs, because I'm from the UK, and we think we know what kebabs are, but I'd like to know from you. I mean, what kinds of ingredients do you use when you make a kebab?
Especially meat, but a healthy meat. I think it's how can I say, calf meat, fresh calf meat.
Oh, right, okay, and so beef. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
And some spices in it, very tasty spices. But the main thing is preparing the kebab is especially important, because you cannot prepare it in your home. It is impossible. Because they have different cooking methods.
Right. And they're so big. They're so big, aren't they? Goodness me.
Yes.
Yes. In the United States, a lot of people they grill and then they make these tiny little kebabs, and sometimes they're with meat, sometimes they're with fruit as well. But they're just little tiny kebabs, not the big ones.
Because you should eat it in our country, in the southeast countries. Even though I am living in the west, and the kebabs are not very good here.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, if you want to eat the best kebab, you should go to Urfa or Adana, or some kind of salt cities in Turkey.
Okay, I see that.
How can I say, they take care, not take care, but they feed the animals differently in that cities.
Oh, right.
And these animals, yes, these animals' meats are very delicious.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
If you are not vegetarian.
Well, I think that's a fair point. Absolutely right. Now, Nihan, tell you were thinking about maybe your home country's favorite foods. So tell me now, what are the most popular foods in your home country?
Do you ask me again?
Oh yes, Nihan, yes.
The famous is kebab, I think.
Okay, so kebab is number one. What about foreign foods? What foreign foods do they like?
We eat foreign foods, especially Italian foods. We like the Italian cuisine.
Okay,
pizzas,
that's interesting.
Macaroni, and some kind of things. We eat it. I'm living in a big city, and I have many different options to eat. The other street, I have a Chinese restaurant, for example. But I love Balkan cuisine and Italian foods.
Now, well, that's interesting. I don't know what Balkan food is like.
Especially Bulgarian or Greek food.
Oh, Greek. Okay. I see. Well, this does make you very hungry, this conversation, doesn't it? This is so hard for me to stay here and not run away and find a restaurant. That was really interesting, and thank you. You gave me some really good details, and that's what's such a good thing. If of course, just if we're speaking with people in English, of course, they want to know all about your culture. If you're a visitor to an English-speaking country, and as soon as they find out that you're new to the UK or the United States, they'll want to know. In the United States, of course, Americans would think, and would have a good reason to think, that they have, most of the food is in the United States already, because there is a huge variety of restaurants and places, especially in the bigger cities. In the UK, it's much more popular to feel sorry for visitors, because the food is often really quite terrible in the UK. But wherever you go, wherever you speak to an English-speaking person, of course they'll always want to know about the food in your home country, because it's such an interesting thing to hear about. Nihan, thank you for practicing with me.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Let me see. Let me go to Ismail. Hello again, Ismail.
Hello, teacher.
Are you ready to answer some food questions for us?
Yes.
I'm glad to hear.
Ready.
All right, let me start my practice with you as well. Ismail, first of all, of course, what are your favorite foods?
My favorite food is bluefish in the oven. I like marine products.
Okay, so and do you like all kinds of fish?
Yes, I like lake fish and sea fish and shrimps.
Okay, and tell me, what are the most popular foods in your home country?
In my country, I am from Turkey, and I think doner kebab is the most popular food in our country.
Okay, and I know we have plenty of Turkish students. I hope we don't have disagreement between the most popular food. But it sounds like you agree with Nihan. That's a relief for me. What about what foreign foods do you like, Ismail?
Actually, I like homemade food. teacher, and
okay.
I am not open to test different things which I don't know in which was in ingredient in that food. I think I am a little conservative about different cuisine, and I like how can I say? I don't like the automatized cuisines.
Right.
I don't like fast food. I like healthy food, which is prepared at home or in a small food center. I don't like chain restaurant, teacher.
Chain restaurants, and we mentioned McDonald's and all these other places. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Ismail, I think you brought up a really interesting point, and you were talking about. I mean, I know you were working hard to think of the one word in English which describes these kinds of foods that are made perhaps in a factory or made on a very large scale, and if we're not making the food ourselves, and if it's made in a factory, for a lot of people, we can call that processed food. And that includes, as you say, that includes fast food, but also food if you buy a meal that's already prepared in a supermarket, for example, and it's a meal you put in the microwave and heat up for 3 minutes and then eat. That's again processed food. And that processed food, as you say, we don't always know what goes in it. We know we know in Europe they were putting horse into a lot of things recently, which was a surprise. Yes.
And they are adding some ingredients to increase the lifespan of the products. They are not healthy, I think, teacher.
Absolutely. Well, they sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're not. And you're right. To prolong the life, we can talk about these. I'm trying to write artificial. So of course we can use natural things to prolong the life, and salt is the most natural, the most famous preservative that prolongs the life of food. But we also know in foods these days, in processed foods, there are a lot of artificial preservatives, and that's something that people I know a lot of people try to avoid those things, because you're right, they want to eat as healthily as possible. Ismail, thank you so much for that. The very first thing Ismail talked about, he mentioned cooking food in the oven. What do we call that when we cook something by putting it inside the oven? What's our cooking method there? Anybody?
We use oven much because oven foods are more healthy.
Oh, sure, but the thing is, I mean, we have a verb in English for things that we put in the oven, and that's if it's a cake or if it's It's we're talking about baking here. So if we put something in the oven, then we're baking it, okay? So let's just think that, because I think it's good to know, it's good to remind ourselves of all these of the various different cooking methods. So this is baking when we put it inside the oven, okay? What about if and we're saying oven, by the way, of course. We've got British English, which would be oven. Here in Tennessee, in the south of the United States, where I am now, they'll call that a stove. So an oven and a stove, it's really the same thing, but oven is the commonly British way to say that. What about if you've got a pan and you put some oil in there? So instead of frying, okay. So there's our frying, right? Yeah. What about? I mean, what other methods of cooking?
Boiling.
Boiling. Thank you. What is boiling? What's that mean?
Boiling the
We are
food
putting some water,
water.
In a can, and after that we are putting what are we going to boil something in it, and
right. We're definitely going to boil it, and of course, so that boiling water. I mean, that's very very hot water. Of course, it is. Yeah, we need to, and sometimes we add salt to increase how quickly that can come to the boil. We've got boiling water, right? So we put that at the top as saying, okay, it's boiling. It's pretty. This is pretty serious stuff. It's boiling. What about if it's just a little bit warm? We've got so boiling is when the bubbles are coming up like that. Yeah.
Steaming.
Oh, and we have steaming as well, and of course the steaming is when it's not in the water, and it's just the hot steam that's rising and cooking that way. So we've got steaming. Yeah.
The most healthy method for vegetables.
Mm. Yeah, I know. Yes, absolutely. And I'm always too impatient and too lazy to steam things, but it is a good way to do it. There's one below boiling. I just wanted to give that to you, and that's simmering. Okay, and simmering
vegetables doesn't lose their vitamins and minerals.
Yeah, that's exactly. No, that's absolutely right. Thank you. That's a great reason to do that. So the simmering is a less violent. We have the boiling, which is a very fast, very hot water. Simmering, it's still hot, but it's not jumping around. It's just sitting there and sort of a little bit bubbles on the side. So that's another way to cook something more slowly. If you can, sometimes you boil something and it just goes, it falls apart.
Barbecuing, maybe.
Yeah, barbecuing. What is that?
Grilling.
What does that mean if we barbecue something? How do we do that?
When on an open fire, usually outside.
Mm-hmm.
In the garden, we put a sausage, for example, or other kind of meat there, and we eat with ketchup or something like this.
Thomas, thank you. You're absolutely right. And again, we have a difference between the British English and generally the American English as well, or the American English of the South of the United States. Slim has mentioned grill, and grilling is what they would call barbecuing in the southern states of the United States. So we can have sometimes a bit of confusion, a misunderstanding between barbecuing and grilling, because in Tennessee they would think it was the same thing. So these are interesting terms. We have to be careful sometimes where we are when we use them. So that's interesting. Oh, thank you so much. I see a roasting there in the chat. Now what is roasting?
It's like grilling, but something
on a roast.
What sort of things do we roast?
Chicken.
Right. Okay. So meat, right? But also, I mean, can we roast vegetables?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Can we roast a cake?
No.
So all right. Okay. And that's interesting, isn't it? So we bake a cake. It's still going in the oven. We roast vegetables, and they go in the oven as well. So sometimes it depends what we're cooking, as well as where or how we're cooking it. I think I'm very high. Do you notice I beg your pardon? I'm a little bit allergic today. So some very nice and broiling as well. Some excellent verbs, some excellent methods of cooking in the Verbling chat. It's so good to see that variety of words. Let me move on and practice with some more.
What about freezing? Freezing, as in sushi.
Oh, I don't know anything about sushi. So how do you make sushi?
I also don't know, but I heard that.
maybe somebody knows.
I heard that it is frozen and it has lost its rawness.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. I wish. I just don't know enough about that. I don't eat. I don't even eat sushi because
Okay, let's search it.
I know, my goodness. We'll come back next time. We'll all be experts. Yes, I don't know how they do that because you're right. There is a safety element to that. Let me find someone to practice with. Let me go to let me go to Azael. Azael, I'm glad you're still here. Thank you for your patience. I know you were near the top of our list. Azael, are you happy to practice with us?
Yes.
All right.
I'm not. I think I'm hungry.
I know it's hard. I'm feeling tired and hot. Well, let's talk of ovens and roasting and cakes and things. But I'm interested from the Mexican perspective here because we have people from all over the world, and I think it's of course in Tennessee there is a lot of food that we call Mexican. So where some of it is not authentically Mexican, some of it is. But Azael, from your point, what are your favorite foods?
I love Mexican food. I really love Mexican food. Even the Mexican food, it's a little bit spicy, but it's really not really good. There is a huge kind of food in Mexico City. Every country, every state has a special dish.
Okay.
For example, the tacos, the burritos. There is a lot of food here.
Of course, there really is. There really is. My goodness, yeah. Now, but of course, I'm sure some of the students here aren't as familiar with different kinds of Mexican food. I mean, I think most people, of course, have heard of tacos, and most people have heard of burritos. But do they? Can you tell us? Can you tell us what is the difference between a taco and a burrito?
Okay. The difference is the main difference is that the tacos are a little bit how do you say? The burritos are bigger than tacos.
Yes, they are.
Both are made from tortillas.
Which of course is the cover, isn't it? Almost the wrapping for these things. I mean, when I think of a taco, I think well, it's a little bit open, whereas a burrito is more closed.
Yes.
Like an enchilada is closed, and then you put the sauce on, and it's just killing me to talk about these things right now.
Yes, yes, and most of the time it includes beef, and could be beef with pineapple.
Oh, really? I've never done
that. Mixture, I don't know, from sweet and salt, and it's very, very tasty.
Now that's interesting. So now tell me, who typically in Mexico, who are the best cooks in Mexico? Are they men or are they women? I mean, who cooks normally in a Mexican family?
Obviously, men.
Okay, but I mean, in a family,
really? Generally,
yes,
always,
yes. But for example, my mom is a excellent cook. She has a special, how do you say, a special flavor for her dishes.
Right. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
And so perhaps she has a special recipe.
Yes.
Yeah, and especially if you're mixing a lot of spices and flavors together, we can talk about having a special blend, a blend of bringing those spices together, or flavors, and that might be some, you know. Yes, I mean, maybe your mother has a unique recipe, or even a secret recipe that no one else has, which is very cool. I have to tell you, my favorite Mexican food in all the world are tamales, and I think it's because when my wife takes them, they take so long to make that we're so hungry for tamales by the end.
And most of the people here in Mexico try to mix things, try to mix plants with animals and something like that, and it's very, very tasty. For example, here in Mexico City, there is a dish called the mole.
Yes.
It is made from chicken and rice, and it includes a special sauce.
Sauce, yeah.
Sauce, yeah. It's made from chilies, cacahuates. I don't know how to say cacahuates. It's like a seed, seed.
Okay. Right.
Cookies.
Wow.
Salad cookies. Salad cookies and cream. Yeah.
It's all there.
It's a mix, but it is really, and cheese. It has cheese. Above.
America will love it then, because anything with cheese we love here in America. Thank you so much for all those details. That's just really interesting and driving me crazy to hear about these things, to be honest. I have to tell you that
the Mexican food is a little bit weird, but it's really good. If you have the opportunity to taste the Mexican food, you're going to enjoy it.
I agree, and I think it's one of my favorite foods. And I know to cook Mexican food in the UK and in Britain, it can be quite hard to find those ingredients. Of course, in the United States, much easier because of course the United States and Mexico share a lot of those local vegetables and also those local flavors as well. So it's much easier for me to find something close to authentic Mexican food here.
What's your Mexican food? Favorite Mexican food?
What's my favorite? I think it would be. I tend to either order. I mean, we go to a lot of Mexican restaurants. It tends to be. My wife always loves to order chimichangas. I tend to choose a vegetable dish, a vegetarian dish with Mexican food, and it's really a combination of things like burritos. I don't like. I don't choose tacos. I don't know why. My wife makes a wonderful taco salad though, which is wonderful. So I don't know what I'm going to do after this class. I think I might eat a horse. Let me go over to Thomas for some different foods, I think. Thomas, thank you for your patience. Are you still there? Thomas, can you hear us okay?
Yes, no, sorry, I had problem with connection, but now I can hear.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I know sometimes we have to turn on the microphone and on all those things, but I always check because sometimes I don't know. Thomas, tell me, are you happy to answer our food questions today?
Yes, I can try.
Excellent. Remind us, Thomas, where are you from?
I'm from Poland, so this is Central Europe. If you
Excellent.
don't know, because
you're right, and I once told someone in Poland that they were in Eastern Europe, and he was very upset with me and said, "No, we're in the middle. Thank you very much." So I was corrected on that point, and now I always think of Poland as in the middle of Europe. Thomas, first of all, tell me, what are your favorite foods?
My favorite food, I think it is potatoes with rice, slices of meat from probably the pork made from chicken. It's a sap. I don't know if it is sap in English, but it's and with salad, pork chop. It's
the pork chop. Oh my goodness, yes, wonderful stuff. Okay, what else? What else do you like?
With cabbage or with slices of cucumber. something like this. Also, I like rice with different kind of meat. Everything can be connected with rice, and I like it. Other Polish, especially the Polish dishes, is dumplings, and also one of my favorites for dinner. It's actually for a dinner, but for breakfast I eat sandwiches with ham, with tomatoes, and I also like it. Sometimes I like, especially for supper, milk with cornflakes. Sorry.
Oh right, okay. So yeah, that's interesting. An interesting order to your food day. I like that. I like that a lot. Thomas, tell me, who is the best cook that you know?
I can say my mother.
Good answer.
I think it's a good answer.
That's very funny.
I don't. Maybe in the future it would be my wife, but now
maybe.
For sure.
You hope so. You hope so anyway. What about foreign foods? I mean, are there foreign kinds of food that you like to eat as well?
Foreign foods, I don't know if I can call pizza foreign food. Probably I can't, because it's from Italian, probably, or from Italian. But I like also pizza. It's popular when we go outside in the city for the restaurant with my friends and eat some. Also hamburgers and fast food. What more? Sausage, Polish sausages. I like that. It's not rather foreign.
No, but it's good though. You're absolutely right. It's a wonderful thing. Thomas, that's a pretty good description. I like your answers, and I think that's you've given some really nice details there. I've never been to Poland, but there is such a strong Polish population, of course, in Scotland and in England, that there are many Polish delicatessens and food shops and restaurants now as well. So the British people get a real opportunity to eat some good Polish food, and a lot of that, as you say, it can be dumplings and sausage and things like that. So it's pretty popular in the UK these days, which is cool, I think.
As Polish is the second spoken language in the UK. I heard that.
It's what they say. I mean, there are a lot of course, English is there very high up, but there's a very strong Polish population, and of course a lot of Polish people working really hard in the UK and forming a strong community as well. So I think it's a pretty good thing.
In future, I will go to England probably if I want to find job in Poland.
Yeah, no, you should check it out. There's lots of good things to see in the UK, and don't be shy. Go up north and find Scotland as well, because that's kind of fun. Thomas, thank you so much. Let me quickly, because I want to fit in two more people before we finish our class. Let me go to Mehmet. Hello, Mehmet. Are you still there with us?
Yes, I am.
All right. Are you happy to answer our food questions today?
Of course I am.
Of course, you are. Good answer. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mehmet, first of all, of course, what are your favorite foods?
My favorite food, there are lots of things actually.
Okay.
But meatballs are my favorite. Meatballs.
Okay, what other favorite foods do you have?
Fish, eggs, for example.
Oh yeah, what kinds of fish?
What kinds of tuna? Tuna fish and
okay.
Some Alaskan fish are delicious, actually.
Right. Okay. And tell me, do you prefer do you like eating out in restaurants, or do you prefer to eat at home?
I prefer to eat at home, but I don't know how to cook, so I have to go out.
I understand. Okay, that's a problem. I understand that. I've been there myself.
I'm spending lots of money.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you're right. It can be very expensive. You need a good reason to come to America. It's pretty cheap over here. This fast food, these restaurants. Now, if you have to go and eat at a restaurant, what kind of restaurant do you go to?
I would prefer some fast food restaurants, I think, because it is, first of all, it's cheap, and it's a free land. I mean, how to say it in English? It's comfortable to be there, to eat there.
Ah, okay. And comfortable, and perhaps convenient as well. And convenient meaning easy to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And of course, saves you time as well. Because some of the time it's fast. It's not fast food isn't always fast. I've noticed that. Mehmet, thank you for those answers. I really appreciate you coming to class and sharing that with us today. Let me go on to Victor. Hello, Victor. Are you there, Victor?
Yes.
I'm always so impatient. I should wait 3 seconds. I'm so sorry. Victor, are you happy to answer our food questions today?
Yeah, welcome.
All right, excellent. Remind me, Victor, where are you from?
From Mexico.
Mexico. Oh, you see, I get to hear about more Mexican food this way. Or not, perhaps, of course. Maybe you don't like it. I don't know. Victor, tell me, what are your favorite foods?
Definitely rice with a fish scallop or fish fillet.
Oh, okay, a fillet, yeah,
Fillet from stick with a sauce and more different salads. Or pork as well.
Okay, yeah. And if you go out to a restaurant, what kind of restaurant do you like to go to?
Sometimes vegetarian kinds.
Can you tell me again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
If possible, vegetarian kinds.
Ah, okay, got it.
So most of them, they got salads, rice, special kind of rice, peppers, and things like those. Fresh water from fruits.
Right. Okay, that sounds really good. And do you like to cook at home?
Yes, I do.
Okay. How often do you cook your own food?
Every time I can, I cook my breakfast or my lunch. So 3 times per week or more.
Oh, okay. That's probably more than me. I'm very lazy these days. Victor, thank you for answering those questions. I appreciate it. I want to go last of all. I would like to go to Slim, who has been very patient. Let me say hello to Slim. Hi, Slim. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Slim, are you happy to answer our food questions last of all?
Yes.
All right. Well, of course, the question I've asked everybody here, and I want to ask you last of all. Oh, hang on. Watch it, Victor. Your mic's still on there. Slim, tell me, what are your favorite foods?
I haven't favorite food, but I prefer grilled barbecue. With all fish. I prefer fish more than meat. Actually, I prefer seafood. How to say it? Shrimps, like shrimps, crabs. I love so much crabs and shrimps. Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking at the chat there. Someone was saying they have to leave because they're so hungry. So you like the seafood and me too. I think seafood is fantastic. Do you go out to eat in restaurants? Do you do that regularly, or is that more of a special occasion for you?
Not very often. Not very often. Actually, I live in a coastal town that make me advantageous for others to have fresh fish and seafood. That's why I prefer it so much. With some we call it some harissa. It's like sauce, hot chili sauce.
All right. Okay.
Whose main ingredient is pepper.
Okay. Okay. That sounds really good. I'd like to hear more, Slim, but I'm out of time. I'm sorry about that. I'm glad you were able to stay and answer those questions, and I hope, of course, I hope everybody you found this class helpful. We certainly got through a lot of vocabulary, a lot of different kinds of foods, and it was so interesting. I mean, I was really glad to hear from you in terms of all the foods from your home countries, and of course the favorite foods that we share, in fact, as well, and of course different ways of cooking, things like that. Let me just stick my Facebook page there on the Verbling chat. Please follow me on Facebook and on Verbling, and every weekend, probably on a Sunday, I'll let you know my schedule for the upcoming week, so you know the kinds of classes that I'll be doing here. Thank you so much for your conversation today. I really enjoyed hearing all of you. I'll look forward to seeing you all again very soon, okay? Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.